a great mom. She always made sure that we were always happy.
Elizabeth Bovenzi put her family first, which is why it was so difficult when her dementia progressed. The insidious disease forced her family to house her in a nursing home in Rochester, New York. Her daughter, Toni Cook, signed this agreement for her mom during her admission. The line where she signed her name reads, "resident or power of attorney," even though she was neither. Cook vividly remembers the conversations during that stressful process.
I wanted to read through them, which they pulled it right away and said, "Oh, no. You're not going to be responsible for anything." She came in, and when she was admitted, she came in with Medicaid and Medicare. And they assured me that her bills were going to be being paid by these two insurances.
Without hesitation, she signed those documents. Her mother lived for about 6 months until she died in November of 2024. Months later, her death delivered an unexplainable blow.
I went to the mailbox to get my mail sometime in May, and I had an $80,000 bill from the nursing home. Well, I called them and I told them that I was not responsible for her bills. A few months down the line after that, I got a process server knocking on my door, serving me with legal papers that I was being sued.
Unknown to Cook at the time, the documents she signed were used against her, with the nursing home saying her mom never applied for Medicaid. So Cook was on the hook for her mother's unpaid bills, with the total coming in at $170,000. Cook had to get lawyers to help, challenging the nursing home's lawsuit, saying the admissions agreement does not include language, making it clear that she would be held liable for her mom's finances. Her lawyers also fired back, saying this process is unenforceable under federal law, which bars third-party guarantees of payment as a condition of admission. Anna Anderson is a lawyer at the National Consumer Law Center.
The federal law bans nursing homes from pursuing other people for a resident's nursing home bills. But unfortunately, nursing homes have gotten cleverer and cleverer as they have sort of looked for ways to try to find someone to pay for these outstanding debts. And with each turn that the federal government takes to try to stop it, the nursing homes then take a new step and a new tactic to try to find a loophole or a workaround to try to make people responsible for these bills.
Anderson says some nursing homes are using language hidden in admissions agreements to get around the federal law that took effect in 1987, prohibiting the use of debt collection methods to go after third parties for their personal financial assets.
But I was really shocked and surprised when I started to get calls from people who were getting sued not for their own debt, but for their loved ones' nursing home bills.
Our national investigative team found these debt collection lawsuits are becoming increasingly common across America, well documented in states like New York, New Jersey, Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio, Alabama, Washington, D.C. In a single county in New York, 24 nursing homes filed 238 debt collection lawsuits, primarily targeting friends and family members of residents, seeking nearly $7.6 million between 2018 and 2021, according to the NCLC. In Alabama, a nursing home sued for $67,000 of debt, almost $80,000 in Ohio, nearly $120,000 in New Jersey. But it's hard to fully know the true extent of the problem because these cases are filed in local county courts with no central way to compile them.
It ripped open a deep wound, a grieving wound, and a wound of now financial responsibility for something that I didn't even know that I had.
No one knows the stress of possible financial ruin better than Lynn Marie Witt. Witt was willing to do anything for her mom, Joan Januszewski, who was admitted to a nursing home in New York as she courageously fought cancer. During this trying and stressful time, Witt says she felt compelled to also sign documents upon her mom's admission.
And I remember asking at the time, because I didn't understand what I was signing, I had said to her, does this make me responsible, financially responsible? Because at the time I was homeless and had a lot of issues, and of course I didn't want to take on financial responsibility. And she said, "Oh no, absolutely not, honey, it will be covered."
But the nursing home said those documents did, ultimately putting Witt on the hook for her mother's unpaid bills. Januszewski was only a resident for 23 days before she died. Following her mother's death,
I had been living in my car, what they call couch surfing. Yeah, not a good time in my life.
but years later, the facility found her new address, delivering her mother's unpaid debt in the form of a big bill, ultimately morphing into a lawsuit, $9,240 plus interest and attorney fees. Witt's case joins a growing number of Americans in a fight with nursing homes around the country, seeking repayment from third parties over paperwork they signed at the time of admission. Witt sought help from a free legal service to challenge the nursing home's lawsuit, demanding she pay money she didn't have.
The stress really impacted me physically, mentally, socially. I disappeared off the planet for a little while.
I thought I was gonna die. I honestly thought I was gonna just, and in some ways, it's like, well, if I'm not here, it's going to be better for my whole family. I mean, how do I leave my kids a $170,000 bill? It just eats at you. I'm thinking, do I have to claim bankruptcy? You know, what are my options? What are my choices?
The American Healthcare Association represents the majority of nursing homes in the country. They wouldn't do an interview, but told us these types of lawsuits are not common practice, and we're urging caution that highlighting it could be very misleading. In 2024, the National Consumer Law Center and Justice and Aging reported that more than half of elder care advocates in 27 states said they had seen lawsuits against third parties, with as many as 20 cases filed in their states.
We are seeing that people are just trying to do right by their loved ones, just trying to help them get into the nursing home care that they need. But at the end of the day, they are facing lawsuits that have huge financial consequences on them. And that should not be happening.
For Anna Anderson, there's nothing misleading about the awareness she's promoting.
If you sign one of these documents, even though there's a federal law that bans holding you responsible for the resident's debt, it could still mean that the nursing home is going to, down the line, try to sue you to try to collect those bills from you. And that's not some situation you want to find yourself in. So make sure you read the documents carefully.
And that's what they do. They bully you and you get scared. And that's what my attorney said. A lot of families just settle.
With sorrow shifting to anger, Witt received a bit of good news at the end of our interview.
People are showing that this is completely over for you. Wow. That no, like mine will file? Yeah, all files at the court now. But then you'll have that documentation.
Thank goodness.